Boatworks Today is a viewer-supported show. To learn more on how you can get involved and watch extended ad-free versions of these videos, please visit our website, boatworkstoday.com, and click on the top of the heading where it says Support This Show. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're doing well. My name is Andy with Boatworks Today, and this week we're going to get started reinforcing this transom. So let's climb on up and get started. So here we're looking at the transom of the Bertram, and if you remember, this boat had originally come with twin inboard engines, and someone, the previous owner, prior to me at least, had taken those out and converted this into twin outboards, and they did that by mounting what's called an Armstrong bracket along the back. Now, as part of that process, at least on this type of boat, the corners of the transom needed to be reinforced or, beefed up a little bit. And just looking at how it was done, it just didn't look right to me. Something about it just didn't seem right. Now, the two things that stood out to me first was when you're looking at the color of the resin that was used. Now, typically, your polyesters, they'll cure to somewhat of a greenish color. Sometimes the really cheap polyester resins, they'll turn kind of like an amber color. Now, this is kind of somewhat of like a mustard yellow beige kind of a color. And every time I see that just, at least in my experience, that always means epoxy. Now, where the problem is that I can tell by looking at the glass that they used was chop strand matting. Now, if you're looking to beef up or strengthen an area, epoxy is fine, but chop strand matting is not the glass you want to be using, and you really don't want to be using chop strand with epoxy. So I made the decision, that's all gotta go. Well, I'm glad I decided to open this up because the work that was done back here to stiffen up this transom, honestly, wasn't doing a damn thing. What the previous person did, basically, is they took what's called G10 board. It's like a fiberglass panel, basically, and just glued that onto the side and then laid on a bunch of chop strand over top of that. Well, doing that just created a profile that was going to be impossible to actually get glass laid on there without having, any large bridges. Which is why there was such a large void, running top to bottom all along that edge of the transom. So with the area that was needing the most reinforcement wasn't being reinforced at all. That entire edge of the transom was nothing but air. So after saying a few choice words to myself, I went over to the starboard side to see if that was all done the exact same way, and, well, yeah, pretty much. But one thing I will say is being able to pop these out in large chunks saved a ton of grinding. So, I'll find the positive in something somehow. So, let's skip ahead today, and after a bunch of sanding and grinding, this is how I've got the surface prepped. Pretty much all of the old glass has been removed. I sanded this as flat as I could, at least without going overboard. And I also put in a bevel or a taper along this wooden edge so that the new glass I'm going to be laying up will be able to conform to this profile. Now, one of the other things I'm noticing here is that there's an awful lot of pits and voids just on the surface in general. So those are going to have to be filled before we can start laying glass. And the first step for that, we're going to have to clean the surface. So I'm going to be using the Total Boat De-Waxer and Surface Prep. while I'm waiting for the cleaning solvent to evaporate, I decided I might as well get all my new glass pre-cut, so that's just done and ready to go. Now, I'm actually using something that I've never tried before, and it's one of these electric shears. I got these from Jamestown Distributors. I gotta say, these things cut through the 1708 like a hot knife through butter. Now, as I had mentioned, the surface I'm going to be laying the new glass on has some imperfections that need to get kind of filled in and smoothed over just to, give me a good surface for laying the glass. And for doing that, I'm going to be using the Total Boat, the 5:1 epoxy, and I'm going to be thickening that with silica or Cabasil, basically. So this is the last of 5 layers of glass that I applied on here, and they each laminate got progressively larger. So they started off at 18 inches long, and then it went up to 19 inches long on this last piece, each one going up in 1/4 inch increments. And as it stands right now, this overall laminate is a little over 1/4 inch thick. Now, towards the end of this video, I'm going to apply 2 more layers going in a different direction. So when those 2 are in place, then this overall laminate is going to be closer to 3/8 inches thick. But the reason I wanted to focus in here and show you how I was laying the glass is to, I guess, give you guys another option as far as how you can manage laying this material in somewhat tricky or awkward areas. Now, you may be asking yourself, why am I giving this fiberglass a massage to work out the bubbles in the resin when I could just be using a fin roller? Well, the honest answer is I tried using the fin roller on the very first layer of glass, and it just wasn't working out right. There's too many different angles and contours that are kind of going in play here. The roller just wasn't able to get in there as cleanly as I'm able to do with my hands. And this is perfectly okay. I'm still able to go ahead and work out any of the bubbles. I can push them out towards the edge. And if there's any excess resin, I can push that out as well. So let's do the other side and call this a day. So as you can see here, I applied 2 more layers, and it was basically an afterthought because I had some cut-off scraps. I just didn't want to throw them away, so I thought, well, better to use them than throw them away. So again, just kind of added in a little bit more thickness along that corner seam. So right now we should be around 3/8 inch thick. And overall, I gotta say, I'm actually pretty happy with this. I didn't have any disasters during the layups, and everything just, for the most part, went pretty smooth. I think this looks way better than that mess that was there that I had to start with in the beginning. And overall, I know it's a lot stronger, so win-win. So with this part of the project wrapped up, I think this is a good stopping point for the video. Now, before I close things out, I just want to give everybody a heads up that next weekend, I will not be posting a video here on YouTube. I've got some things that I need to get done outside of the shop, so I'm just not going to be in here really long enough to make any kind of a progress, and certainly not enough progress to put together a video. So the next video for YouTube will be up on the 14th, and I will still be posting over on Patreon. So if you're over there, make sure to keep an eye out for updates there. But with that said, I think that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you on board. Questions, comments, you can leave those down below, and I'll do my best to get back with you. And as always, thank you for your time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the 14th.
This has been a Boatworks Today production.